Warning, the following video contains classified information. Its contents have been verified, redacted, and cleared for viewing. Some content may be disturbing or sensitive in nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
The final piece of the Veil, it's finally here, on this channel. Before we dive into the files, I need you to understand something. There is no vault for this one. There is no clearance level, no Archon seal, no redaction I am defying. Tonight's file has exactly one copy, and we wrote it. This is X-2017, Thanic Ichor, the fifth component of the Veil, and it is the only anomalous object on this planet that belongs to Leviathan 7 and to no one else. Let me tell you where the arc has left us, because tonight is the end of it. 4 components, 4 episodes, 4 thefts. The null cortex pulled from a prime vault, the frame that keeps my mind my own, the obsidian resin, the black interior that reads the world for me, the panacea strain, the shelved miracle I breathe so the resin doesn't take me apart, the aureate residue, the gold in the wiring that makes lying to me a waste of everyone's time. 4 components, and every one of them stolen. The list I copied off the canvas had 5 lines, and the 5th line was the one I couldn't read. And my engineer, who you know by now, built the Veil with an empty socket anyway. To tell you the 5th piece, I have to reach back into this channel's own catalog, to a file some of you will remember, because the road to the 5th component runs directly through an episode I have already made. X-2017, Death's Pal. If you saw that file, you remember the shape of it. If not, I highly recommend you go watch that video first. I won't be recovering my tracks this video, so if you haven't been informed on X-878, go do that first. So I went down to the vault that holds X-878, under my own standing authority, wearing the veil, and I put one gloved hand on the pawl to ring the doorbell of death. The cameras show me alone in a sealed vault for 41 minutes, circling nothing, talking to no one. What announced him was a sound, and the sound wasn't a footstep or a breath. It was the specific small whisper fabric makes when a coat settles into place around a body. I turned around and he was 3 meters away. I'm not going to be able to describe him to your satisfaction. He is exactly the shape a Reaper ought to be, and exactly nothing like what you are imagining. He is tall, but I'm not sure how tall. In one hand, he held the missing piece of himself, small and folded. In the other hand, he held the scythe. And the scythe was bloody, stained deep and old and dried in, and I understood without asking and without wanting to, that the stain was not symbolic. He spoke, and the voice didn't come through the helmet. It came from underneath it. The resin's translation channel wasn't running. Nothing was rendering. The voice was simply present, inside my skull, deep and slow, the way a bell is present when it rings close to you. He said he had been waiting for me. He used my name, and then we circled each other for the better part of 41 minutes, 3 meters apart, the way 2 animals circle when neither wants to commit to a first move, and he let me ask my questions. I'm not going to tell you what was said. You can read about that in my book series. He asked me to take the helmet off. He asked me to stand in front of him bare. And I did it. I'm not going to describe what I saw under the hood when the resin was no longer softening the world for me. And then, with me standing there holding my open helmet in both hands like a bowl, he did something this entire episode exists to tell you about. He raised the scythe, slowly. He drew the pad of one long pale finger along the edge of the blade, and a single drop of blood welled up on the fingertip. He held it over the open interior of the veil, and he let it fall. It landed on the soft gray lining, and it sank in the way ink sinks into paper. And when it finished, there was no mark at all. The lining looked exactly the way it had looked 2 seconds before. "Put it back on," he said. I put it back on, and in the lower left of my vision, my own interface. 5th component detected. Thanic Ichor. Integrating. And then, integration complete, new capability, terminal proximity site, 24-hour horizon. Here's what it does. When I wear the veil now, I see what he sees. Bounded, and he was precise about the bounds. Any living being I look at who is inside 24 hours of their own death carries a mark in my interface. And any living being I look at who is making a decision whose consequence is death, their own death, someone else's death, any death, carries a mark too. A person who dies 25 hours from now shows me nothing. A choice made today that kills someone in a month shows me nothing. But within the cycle of a single day, nothing ends near me unannounced, and I asked him why. The answer he gave me can be found in Book 3 of my Man Behind the Veil series. I won't spoil it for you. So the Veil is finished. 5 components, and for the first time, you know all 5. The null cortex, the frame, it keeps my mind mine. The obsidian resin, the interior, it reads the world and renders my thoughts. The panacea strain, the atmosphere, it keeps the resin from killing me, heals my injuries, and it is the reason a cure for everything rides around inside a helmet instead of emptying hospitals. The aureate residue, the wiring, Nothing standing in front of me is hidden. And the Thanic Ichor, the lining, a single drop of death's own blood, freely given, so that nothing ends near me unseen. 4 thefts and a gift. A machine built out of 5 pieces of 5 things the world was never supposed to touch, assembled by 2 of my associates, worn by me. Good night.